Hello all, good evening. Let's start the today's session. In the previous session, we are discussing about the field level security and audit management that we have seen, and after that, on Monday we have taken the review session. Today, let's start the new topic, that is duplicate detection management. Duplicate detection management and data inputs. So these two topics we are going to see. If time permits, we'll see the charts and dashboards as well. So what is this duplicate detection management? While we are working with the data, in the real time, there is like thousands and lakhs of data we have. So it is very important to maintain the data redundancy or the data accuracy we are maintaining. So no, we should not allow the system to have duplicate records in the system. And also, while the front-end user, while using the system, we should be able to restrict the user to not to add the duplicate detection rules, not to add the duplicate data on any of the tables which you are going to create. For that, how to implement this duplicate detection rules, whether how to restrict the users to how to restrict the users to add the duplicate records. For that, it is like out of the box functionality we have. For that, no need of writing any scripts or anything like that. That you can use the out of the box feature where you are going to create some duplicate detection rules here, so that whenever the user is trying to add the data, automatically system will detect and system will prevent the user to add the duplicate rule or duplicate record, I mean to say. Now, in the same way, this is like for the new data which the user is going to create. But what about the existing data? If you want to filter the records, if you want to find if there is any duplicate records, and if you want to delete those records, for that we have the duplicate detection jobs we have. So that for every weekend or every month at one time, if you would like to run that job, automatically after creating a job, you can give some scheduled time there, so that every weekend or every month or every day, whatever the frequency you are going to provide, based upon it, system will automatically trigger. And the backend process that we will call it as asynchronous process. I guess I already explained what is synchronous and asynchronous. That just basic terminology. It's not about the dynamic CRM. Whatever the software you took, the process is nothing but which is there is two types of process. One is synchronous and another is asynchronous. Synchronous, which runs in the real time, and asynchronous, which runs in the backend. So here we are going to create some scheduled duplicate detection jobs so that it will run in the backend. Let's say every weekend, if you would like to run, then you can schedule the time so that every weekend it will trigger and deletes a duplicate if it finds any duplicate data. In that way, we are going to achieve the duplicate detection thing there. So now let's see how to implement this duplicate detection rules and all in our application. To understand the duplicate detection thing, the functionality before to it, let me go to the out of the box Sales Hub. Let me take the Sales Hub here. Now let's say if I am trying to enter any data, there is already we have the some functionality, right? Sales service like that. We have some business applications is available. Now, what if you are trying to add the same name here? Now, let's say there is like Hari is one record which already available. I'm not sure if there is any changes made by the previous student, but what happened by default, it will not allow you to enter the same name. So how to do that? How to check that? Where the rules is available? Now let's say before to it, let me add some new account name with the same name, Hari, and let's see, and we'll check the rules there. And here I am trying to add the new account with the same name, account Hari, where already available. Save. So if you see here, it is populating one duplicate records found. That means the system has found there is already a record is available, Hari, and again you are trying to import again you are trying to add new record with the same name. So it's triggering some action in the backend and it shows duplicate records found. So that here the user can decide whether he can save or still he can ignore it. I mean to say, if ignore and save, then again the new record will be created on the same name. If you want to ignore and save, then you can do it. Otherwise, you can cancel and we can change the name of it. This is how the duplicate detection rules will be implemented. But in general, there may have same account names, but in this scenario, what we will do, we can go with the another combination, the phone number and account name. Let's say the phone number and account. While you are entering some value there, the account number, account name and phone number should not be saved, right? That in that way, you can create some duplicate detection rules. That's as per your requirement. Now you have seen one duplicate detection rule popped out, how it is getting populated. First, try to understand that thing, and then we can create new duplicate detection rules. To work with this duplicate detection, again, go to the advanced settings from the settings icon in the top. Here under settings, we can see the data management. Under settings, click on the data management. Here, some of the features, let me discuss here, duplicate detection settings. First, if you want to have this functionality in your organization, once you created this organization or the instance, if you want to implement this duplicate detection logic, this is the place where you can enable the duplicate detection on your organization level. Click on this duplicate detection rule. Here, it shows these are the three places where you can enable the duplicate detection rules. Right? These are the three places. I mean to say how you can add the data to the system. One is you can create a record manually, right? As I created Hari record on account. At the time, the duplicate, it should detect the duplicates when a record is created or updated. When Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Outlook goes from offline to online, what does it mean? That means, as I said, Dynamics 365 allows the offline functionality when this is required, mostly in the sense, if you are working with the field service, at the time I'm going to explain you how to configure this offline and all, but just for your understanding, let me give some user scenario here. Now you have some engineers who is working in the field, right? Field service is a business application. Again, we have not yet touched that field service till now. I will explain it in detail in the coming class, but for now, just understand. If you are using the field service application sort of thing, the engineers who is working for field service can be used by different sectors like utilities, manufacturing, or hospital, or whatever different sectors will be used. The field engineer will visits to the client location. That means the technician or the field engineer who is working in your organization will visit to the technician and work in the field, right? Maybe they don't have the internet service, they are working in the remote area. If they don't have the internet service, they can download whatever the application you have in the mobile or the Android application or the tab. They can download the application. That means they can download all the available data. Now let's say in our HR application is currently we are working. So the engineer can download all the records from the HR application. I mean to say he can access the candidate recruiter skills and all. He can also access the records there. Why? Because he downloaded offline data. It allows you to download the data so that the database will be maintained. The copy of the database will be maintained on that particular Android or the tab, whatever the device the engineer is using. There, if he adds some data, he updated some record there. Once he back to the online, it will automatically sync to the database. This option is there. This functionality is available in Dynamics CRM. That how to make offline profiles, how to download the data offline and everything we are going to see while discussing in the field service concept. Now let's come back to the data, the same duplicate detection concept here. These duplicates can be detected once you are coming from offline to online. While syncing the data from currently the engineer is working in the offline, and after it he restore the network. Once the network is restored, if it is syncing to the database, at the time also it will detect the database. It will detect whether there is any duplicate detection rule is available on it or not, right? If he is working on Outlook on offline mode, once he restore the network, once it is online, and it founds it is like duplicate record he is trying to push to the database. At the time, still at the time also, it will detect the duplicate detection rule and it will populate the message as we seen just now, where we are trying to create the hurry record and it populates one warning message, right? In the same way, it will happen in the offline to online mode as well. And the other one, during data import. While importing the data, what is data import? That we are going to see. You can import the data through Excel or CSV file, right? While importing the data, now let's say if you want to work in the Excel, let's say you have hundreds of records like candidates. You don't want to add the candidate. You don't want to open the CRM and candidate and keep on adding the records there. Just instead of it, you can just have the what are the columns available, and you can add that in the Excel sheet. So you can add Suresh, expected CTC, phone number, email, and all. In that way, I can add hundreds of records and I just upload the data to the CRM. So while uploading the record, if there is any records in the Excel, which is already available in the system, at that time data import also, the duplicate detection rule will be triggered. Getting my point? That means that if you create a duplicate detection rule, these are the three positions where this duplicate detection rule will be triggered. When a record is created manually, I mean to say opening the form and creating a record or updating the record to the existing record. Now let's say there is a hurry record. I'm just opening the Suresh record and click on edit and updating to the hurry. That means again, it will trigger while updating as well. And from offline to online and during data import. These are the three places where you can manage, where you can provide the setting to enable this duplicate detection. So this is like organization level permission. If you want to use this duplicate detection the functionality, then this is the settings where you are going to enable. As we enabled for auditing in the organization level, right? In the same way, this we are enabling for the duplicate detection for the organization level, right? This is the first step where if you want to have like all, if you don't want with the online and offline, you can ignore it. So that is how you can manage and you can change that. Now in the system, we already enabled it. Once this is done, the next action is we need to create some duplicate detection rules here. So these are the duplicate detection rules for the some of the out of the box object, out of the box tables. We already have some duplicate detection rules. Now here you could see accounts with the same account name. So whenever the user is trying to create the same account name, it triggers the duplicate detection rule. We have some duplicate detection rule here. That is the reason it is triggering the duplicate detection notification there. So this is how some of the duplicate detection rules available here. Now let's say how to create a duplicate. Now let me open the existing one. Here, this is how the window it looks like. And base record type is like account and match record type account and account name is exact match. Then that it should trigger some duplicate detection window there, stating that already the record is available. So this is how the duplicate detection rule available in the system. Now let me create one new duplicate detection rule on our candidate table there. So name, same candidate, just giving same candidate was one of the name of my duplicate detection rule. Base record type. What is this record type in this? What are the entity or what are the object you are going to use for the duplicate detection rule? Base record type is June_candidate. Here there is a feasibility where you can check on the same table or it will allows you to check on the other table as well. Now let's say if there is any record on the account, if there is Suresh on the account, if you want to check the account while I am going to enter the Suresh record on the Suresh name on the candidate table. It will not only allows you to check in the same table, but also in the referred table. That's also possible. But in general, what we will do, if there is duplicate detection rule in the sense, if it is from the same, if it is from the same table, I will ask to trigger the duplicate, right? But there is a feasibility where you can also check from the other table. Whether it is case sensitive, that option is available. Exclude inactive matching records. That two options we have here. And this is the condition where you are going to put field here. I'm just taking the name here, candidate name, and it should not exact match same first characters, same last characters. If you are trying to enter the same first characters, duplicate detection rule will be triggered. In my case, I would like to go with exact match here, right? and ignore blank values. Suresh space Babu. Let's say Suresh space Babu. In the second record, I'm just entering Suresh Babu. If you want to ignore blank, that's as the name you can understand it. If you want, you can go with. Here, there may be so many records for me, so many so many candidates with the name Suresh, right? The candidates. So I will go with the phone number as well. Phone and exact match. So if name and phone is exact match, that means then only it will trigger the duplicate detection. Otherwise, it won't. So this is just we are adding some condition, simple. Just we are adding some condition and a base record type selected. Save. Once this is saved, currently the status is unpublished, right? This should be published. Then only it can reflect to your application on your table. If it is not published, then it won't trigger the duplicate detection rule there. And here automatically system job got created. That's the whatever the duplicate detection rule you have created. In the sense, system there is a system job automatically created. This system job will trigger based upon the whenever you are trying to create a record, based upon the duplicate detection settings you have given, right? Just give me a second. I'm getting a call from office. Just quick. Yes, sorry. So here, once we created any duplicate detection rule, automatically one duplicate detection job will be created in the backend. As per the settings, duplicate detection settings, which we discussed till now, right? When a record is created or offline to online or data import, automatically the system job will be triggered. That will be taken care of by the system. That is like out of the box functionality, we will call it as, right? Now we have created one duplicate detection rule. Now let's see how this works in our candidate table on our HR application. Here I have a record like Arvind and with the phone number. Just let me copy the same phone number here. And Arvind, just trying to create a new record with the same name here. I guess the spelling which I provided is correct, I guess. State is from Tamil Nadu. And let me give some mandatory fields here. To PAN card. Yeah, yes, these are the mandatory fields. Save. Duplicate records found. So how you are able to see these duplicate records? Because of the duplicate detection rule which I populate. So if you want to ignore and save, still the system allows you to save. There is no, I mean to say, duplicate detection rule will not allow you to save, not like that. It will allow you to save, that's up to you. Now let's say I'm an engineer who is working and I just ignored and saved the record. So now what will happen? The two records will be created here, but how the system will identify? How the system will identify between the two records here? So as I said, for every record, there is some GUID which is created in the backend, right? Now let's open this record in one tab and let me make use of another duplicate tab here where you can see the GUID. In the URL, you could see the GUID. So whenever you are fetching the record, here, whatever the records we are seeing here, that is for our display purpose and the name of the record. But in the backend, there will be some GUID created. There you could see here, candidate ID is equal to, this is the GUID, 3D10EC, right? For this, it shows another GUID. So the system will take care of this GUID and whatever the record you are triggering, whatever the record you are calling, that will be identified with this GUID. So now, as I said, even though there is a duplicate detection rule, but here the system is not restricting to block the user to create the duplicate. But here just it is giving some notification. Then just it is giving some notification whether if you still want to continue of creation of the duplicate record or not. That means duplicate detection rule, which allows you to populate the information if there is any duplicate value, right? That's you need to remember one thing. And let me another try to add some another duplicate here for Ashok. Let me take this value, Ashok. I'm trying to create new duplicate. So just I want to do one more point here, Ashok, and phone number, the same phone number, state, Telangana, PAN card, that's right. Save. While trying to save, required field. Okay. ID. Save. So it populates the record there. So in this way, I could see different records are getting inserted there. Now there is a point where I found that as a top management, I could see even though there is a duplicate detection rule, I'm able to see the different duplicates is available. Different, I mean to say different duplicate records got created in the system, right? So to avoid this thing, now I decided, even though there is a duplicate detection rule, still we are able to see the duplicate records in the system. So now for this thing, we have the concept of duplicate detection jobs. What this duplicate detection jobs will do? This duplicate detection jobs will help you to identify the duplicate records in the system. And by using this duplicate detection job, you can run some jobs every weekend or every day, end of your business hours or every month, so that automatically system will select the duplicate records, and it will automatically delete the records then. So how to create these duplicate detection jobs? So go under data management, as we see under data management, just click on this duplicate detection jobs. Here, let's create a new duplicate. Before to that, let me show you like if there is any system jobs there, all duplicate detection jobs. Currently, there is no. Click on new. Here, this wizard helps you to detect duplicates for all records in one entity. After you complete the wizard, a duplicate detection job will run in the background. Background in the sense, asynchronous job will be created and it will be run in the backend. Click on next. Just it is a wizard or the window which shows you need to follow the window. Just creation of duplicate detection jobs and all that pretty much easy, I could say. Now on June underscore candidate, right? This is the table which I'm just trying to create, or you can also make use of any view like active June candidates. There is a view that means there is some condition view. What is the results we are going to see here? You can see the preview here. Now I am trying to apply on this particular records. Click on next. Now what will happen? Here, duplicate detection, active zone candidates, the name of the duplicate detection and schedule and notification options. Now, what will happen if there is, if I have some run this job for every 20 minutes or 37 days, automatically it will send a notification to you. It will send a notification in such a way that what are the all the records you have, and system will automatically show you the records in your mail, like what type of how many records you have, the duplicate records, how the system is going to define them. You have already the duplicate detection rule, right? So with this duplicate detection rule, it will send you an email notification to this email. Based upon the duplicate detection rule, we have created with the account name and the candidate name and phone number, right? The system will check based upon the duplicate detection rule which you created, and based upon it, it will share you the result. It will not directly delete. It will share you the result in your email. Once this is email, there may be in the email you will get one option whether to delete or the merge or ignore again. So there, from there, it will, if you delete, it will automatically delete the records there. Otherwise, if you ignore, again, it will be in the system. So based upon run this job for every 7 days or 30 days, based upon the frequency you are putting here, this will keeps on sending me an email. Currently, this is not working. Email, I mean to say there is no email license for me. Click on, you can go it, but it won't work. Simple, it won't work. Send an email to admin. Click on next. So as for every job, for every 7 days, it will create an email to you. It will send you an email with the duplicate detection job which just created. So this is how the duplicate detection job will work. Will help you to understand. Will get an email notification by every weekend or every 30 days based upon the frequency. It will send you a notification email there. Right. This is about the duplicate detection management. How you are going to add the duplicate detection rule and how you are going to create the duplicate detection job in the back, right? And there is a bulk record deletion. What is this bulk record deletion? So if you at a time, if you want to delete all the records from the system, let's say we have the account table, of course, in the candidate table, we have not much. Let's say if you want to create some, delete multiple records at a time. Again, the bulk, there is a wizard you need to follow. Here again, the view can be selected. That means you are just giving some condition. Now, to demonstrate, maybe I have only 4 records there, but let's go with it. June underscore candidate. Just getting the active June underscore candidate. And here, state. Here I have only 4, but what if I have the thousands of records in the real time, right? State equal Tamil Nadu. If I want to remove all the records from Tamil Nadu, add review record, it shows how many records I have, Arvind and Ashok. Click on next. So it will automatically delete all the records there. Here, when this is required in the sense, let's say, if there is any accounts or activities which is closed appointments, you have, let's say if you have any closed appointments, so you can have some condition there. You can have some condition here. In this filter, you can have some condition. If you are getting my point, right? If you want to delete multiple records like at a time to free up your space. So whatever the condition you are figuring out here on this particular table, right? Based upon this condition, it will fetch some results, and that results will be automatically deleted. And again, this bulk record deletion can be used immediately. Okay, this is deprecated. Maybe recently it's happened. And based upon the schedule time, like so and so time, every non-business, usually this will be triggered at the non-business hours, that is non-working hours, to reduce the load of the server. So, and again, job run for every 7 days, 30 days and all. So it will automatically deletes the record there and send an email to your mail ID. This is how the bulk deletion can also be triggered there. So I don't want to go with this thing. So I have less data. So this is about bulk deletion of the data, right? Here in the data management, if you see here we are managing about the duplicate detection rule and data management there. This is about duplicate detection management, how you are managing them. And what is this data imports? As I said, if you want to work with the data, if you want to import the data from one instance to another instance, or from the Excel to the system, or if you want to export the data, now let's say I have the candidate information here. Now I want to work with the data. So for each and every record, I want to update some value there, right? But for me, it's hard every time opening this particular record and opening the record and trying to work. That's feel difficult for me. So instead of doing it, I want to download all the data to my Excel file, and I will manage some description. I want to write some description for each and every record. Just I'm giving an example. I want to update some description value. Instead of opening each and every record, I want to take it in Excel and download it to Excel and update and upload back to the system. So for that, there is an option here. You can download the data, export it to Excel. You could see. Click on export to Excel. So here it shows. You can open in Excel online. You know what is Excel online? Static worksheet which we will download in the system. Worksheet like one page dynamic worksheet where you can have the dynamic, and you can on the same page you can update the values. Click on this dynamic worksheet. Here itself it will open the Excel and all. And what are the columns we need to have in this particular Excel? Now let's say here I will select the name is there, status is there, date of birth, email. Just I want to work on this. I want to have these fields on the Excel. Then you can select those one. Just randomly picking something. Export. Dynamic worksheet. Just I downloaded the dynamic worksheet, and also the static and dynamic, which is like if you have some, it will have some connection with the dynamic worksheet, and after save, it will automatically upload to the server. in this way, just I downloaded the export to Excel. Now here, what I will have the here dynamic in the sense where you are dynamically added some values. You can see the difference here, show in folder. Yeah, these are the fields which we added, right? And let me see, let me open the other file which I directly exported. It shows only two. You could see the difference here for the dynamic and the other one. The other one is like static. So if I export to Excel click directly, it will take the static one, right? And the dynamic in the sense, just dynamically I can select some values there, whatever the values I need. Otherwise, if you directly select the candidate greater than 5 lakhs, there is some fields which are already added. If you click on export to Excel, the data will consist of all the values which is available in this week. Getting my point? So the how you are going to work here. So if you want to have one more field in this particular column, then you can also do in this way, edit columns, add columns, and just I want to add the principal amount, let's say the email or the, okay, let's go with the description here. This is the description, and principal amount, close, apply. And we have temporarily added some fields here, right? Now just export to Excel. This will show you the added, this will also consist of description and principal amount, right? So whatever the fields it is available on that particular view while you are downloading the Excel, those fields only will be visible there. So this is the latest one. So you could see the description and principal amount, right? This is how you can download the Excel. Now, what will happen? The data import which we are trying to read here, just I want to update some values here, right? I want to update some values here. I don't have the license here. Let me take the Tamil Nadu only. I'm just updating. I'm just working on some of my records here. Here, just adding some values. Just I'm adding some values here randomly. So after updating the Excel, I can import the Excel directly to the server. So whatever the changes I have made, that will automatically update. Before understanding this update and all, so what we need to consider while working with this data import. So just I am trying to explain here how to download the data from your system. This is one option. So whatever the records or whatever the table data if you want to download, that you can navigate to the table and you can directly use this export to Excel and all, right? Here, now let's say here we have some records available, and instead of taking the records from here, I want to add some more candidates here. That means in this record in this Excel, I want to have some records to be added here. I have 100 records there. So instead of going here directly adding the new record every time, so what I feel, what I think, I can add the data here, like what is the name of the candidate and date of birth, are like mandatory fields. For that, you should have some template, right? For the template, the two ways you can do it. One thing, you can directly open one Excel and you can put the names here, name, email, and all. You can write the name and you can add the data. But the best practice here is we need to get the template. Where we are going to get the template. This is when you are going to work with the data imports and data migration. This will be helpful, right? Here you have the templates for data import. Click on this templates for data import. Here it will show all the list of tables available in the system. Let's say June underscore candidate. Just I am downloading one template here. The template got downloaded. Open this template. You could see all the fields added here. So you can get one template here. Now in this template, I will add some data. Suresh, phone number, an email, suresh@yit.com, state, I guess, Okay, in this way, just I will add some data, just randomly. I will add some data here, and but you should be adding the data. I mean to say the data should be all the mandatory fields should be added. We should not ignore the mandatory fields there. So let me take the what is the recruiter side out here. Let me copy the recruiter names in this no recruiter. So not required. Yeah, then I will take the recruiter here. Hmm, First check proof is PAN card. Yes, you should be conscious. I mean to say, while adding these lookup values, the spellings and case sensitivities, they should not be ignored. They should be the same value there. And expected CTC. I guess these are my mandatory fields, I guess. Okay. Now let's say I'm just adding one more field, the same name and same values here. So just want to showcase how this duplicate detection rule will be triggered with the data imports as well. Right? These are the values, and let me add one more value here. Uh, maybe let it be the same phone number. Sorry, at the rate where IT.com. And this will be the Tamil Nadu, that's fine. And this is again maybe the Lendi only. And this is also it's fine with the PAN card. And this is with the expected series. I guess these are the mandatory fields, but if there any mandatory field is missing, then it will throw an error. So active for active, what it is showing, it is true always. Okay, these are my fields, right? In this way, I just created some template, and I'm using this template and I added some data here. So to import the data, we need to what the steps we need to consider in the sense we can directly import the data by opening that particular table here, or you can also do from the data management. Now let's see how to import the data here. Import from Excel. So what is the name we have given? June underscore candidate. Yes. Saved in desktop. Now I'm just using this import from Excel. Click on import from Excel. While importing, it will ask for mapping. First thing, it will ask for mapping. And what is the file you are trying to upload? Choose file. On desktop, it is June underscore candidate. Right? Click on next. Here it asks allow duplicates. We have the duplicate detection rule, right? If you want to allow the duplicates, then yes. Then what will happen? The system will ignore your duplicate detection rule. System will ignore your duplicate detection rule. If it is no, then system will trigger if there is any duplicate records you are trying to push them. The first step, upload the file and review this duplicate detection settings, and then review mapping. What is this mapping? So which field it will map for your existing database fields and the Excel fields here. Here it shows the primary fields. So name is like name only, proof is proof only, active two options or the two options here. Description, date of birth. This should be mapped. So as we have taken the template from the system, it is automatically showing the correct values. So if it is not here, you need to randomly select the templates there. So here randomly you need to map them. So sometimes it is not from the template if you are creating your own Excel file with the name and all with the different names there. Even though this should not be the same here, I mean to say here while you are creating something, this should not be the same with the same name expected cities. You can give ABC as well, but while mapping the fields, you should be map the correct name there. Just after mapping, click on finish import. Maybe this may be failed. Why? Because the active I have not provided the values, but let's see. I hope at least mandatory fields I have provided some information, but active should have some value, but we have not provided, but let's see. This is the steps while importing and mapping you should be checking. Your data has been submitted for import. If you want to track progress, click on this track progress. It will take you to the progress page where it is importing, and it will show if there is any failures there. So how to import and how to export, that's what we are saying with the export files here. June underscore candidate, the parsing, in the sense it is just uploading your fields there. Total processed, it is like 3 records. And still it is parsing. Just refresh the page. It is completed. 2 fields are success, 1 with the error. That means 2 records it processed and 1 record got failed. So if you whenever you are working with some client, this data import, they will keep on raising this data import tickets. At the time, you need to check here why this got failed or not. Here, it will show the information there. You click on it, it will show the like what actually it got failed. Failure. If you double click on it, it will open this page, import source file and all. It will give the reason for failure. A record was not created or updated because you could see a duplicate, the system entity does not have it. You could see a record was not created or updated because a duplicate of the current record already exists. Why this is happened? Because of duplicate detection rule. So here, what the records we are trying to push? Suresh and Suri. One record got imported. For another record, it failed because of duplicate detection rule. Right? The system is not allowing you to insert the record. Why? Because duplicate detection rule. That's what we learned, right? While duplicate detection rule, it should detect while data import as well. And we also allowed the duplicate detection. This is where the place you could see why what is the reason for failure. Sometimes it shows partial failure. Even though it is partial failure, the record will not be inserted. Why this partial failure? In the sense, if there is any one value is like misinterpretation for only one particular field there, then it shows some partial failure. Again, it shows the clear understanding of the error message. What is the field it is causing an error? And if you see the success, it will show the success records as well. 2 records got success, and June underscore candidate, you could see the records there. And Suresh and Suri. So activity is automatically picked. Maybe it is like default value. That is the reason it is picked automatically, yes, and remaining information. But here in the Excel, the Lendi which I copied and Tamil Nadu which I copied. Why? Because if you change the name, if you're not giving the space or something, it will be like, it is like lookup value. The value should be the same. So in the data import, what you need to check here, first you need to prepare the Excel file, the file to be prepared. I mean to say the data file, and then mapping should be done. This you need to consider. That's up to you. It's not like something you need to download the template and all, but simply you can open the Excel and you can add some values there and you can import. For that, let me quickly. Okay, that's up to you. You can try it from your own. You can take some new Excel file and just add some names here. Instead of name, you can give ABC as well, DEF as well. But while figuring out, in field mapping, you should map exactly for the name to name. If it is ABC, there from name to ABC. In that way, you need to map there. That's not, there is no thumb rule. It should be the same name there. But whatever the Excel name you are putting here, that will be reflected while data map, right? That's one thing. And there is data management, which you could see here. Sorry, in this data management, it shows imports, right? Click on this imports. This is the place where you can track your importing job set. June underscore candidate. Here, the page where it shows parsing and all. Here, there is no restriction. You can import any number of files at a time, but it will be in the process. But it will be in the queues, right? Now, let's say if you imported the files like 10 files at a time. All the files will not be processed at a time. One by one, it will be processed. As I said, it is like asynchronous process. After completion of one job, it will comes to the next record. Right, getting my point? That is how the data will be imported to the system. Here, where you could see the directly from the data management, here you could see the status of all the jobs there, right? And let me if there is any example. And one thing you need to consider, there might be in the real time, there may be some tickets will be raised. I have imported one file, but still it shows in progress or parsing, but it is not getting completed. Or sometimes it shows waiting for resources. Waiting for resources. Status reason shows waiting for resources. What does it mean? At the time, what you need to check? For that, first you need to check from the Power Platform Admin Center, akka.ms/impact. You need to check whether the environment or the instance is in admin mode or not. What is that admin mode? I will explain you. This is my organization. Click on edit here. Administration mode disabled. If it is enabled, if it is enabled, all the background processes will be stopped. Getting my point? All the background processes will be stopped if it is admin mode. What does it mean? It means now let's say you are working on your organization. That means you are configuring your system. If you are enable this admin mode, only the users with system administrator security role can access your application, can access your organization URL. Other users will not be allowed to access. That means it will show you don't have the permission. The org is in admin mode. That is the message it is going to get. And not only this one, whatever the data you are imported, if it is in admin mode, you can't import the data. That means you can upload the file, you can import that, you can send a request like import from Excel, but it shows waiting for resources. Whenever the consultant, whenever the client raises the request, you need to check this option as well, whether the org is in admin mode or not, right? This one you need to check while working with the data inputs. And there is no need to, there is no need, like you should not be in the same page while importing and export. While importing, simply from the data imports as well, click on this imports, and you can upload the file from here as well. Import data. Directly you can import from here. Choose file. Let me choose the same file here. Right? And again, it will ask for the mapping. Allow duplicates. No. Yes. Just go with the no there. Click on. So if it is auto mapped, then that's fine. Otherwise, it will ask for the review map. So it's with the same thing. So it is automatically taken. It is submitted. And afterward, it will show some parsing there. If you refresh the page, it will show parsing, and it will import it. Again, it will show failure, right, because of duplicate detection. That means here it shows total process tree, and it is error, and it's still importing. Again, as I said, you no need to be on the same page. You can also work with this data management directly importing here. That system will not, whatever the fields you are trying to put in the Excel, but the mandatory field should not be missed. That's the only rule which you need to remember here. And again, for exporting as well, you can use here export to Excel. You go with the dynamic worksheet, it will ask you to what the file you would like to have and all. You can export the template there. So usually in the real time till now, in my experience, we used to take the templates only, export to Excel templates, so that it would be like very much easy for us to have the correct formatted data there. So if you want to work with the Excel file there, instead of going other options, just go with this template, so that this templates will be helpful for you to complete your jobs there. That is about the data management and templates for data import here. Now, just we are talking about the system jobs, right? Click on the system jobs. So whatever the operations you are performing, some system jobs will be triggered in the backend. You could see here, there is import file parsing June underscore candidate. It is got success and so on so time. And whatever the operations you are making, for everything in the backend, it will trigger some jobs here, right? We have created some calculated roller field on skill. It shows some job was triggered. And duplicate detection, same candidate is one of my duplicate detection which is got triggered. So if there is any failures and if it is not working correct, if it is not triggering, then you can also check this information. I mean to say this will be helpful for you once you are into the real time when your client raises a ticket for you or when a client approaches for you asking to check why this is not happening, why this process is not happening. At that time, you can come to this section, system jobs, and you can directly select the job entity there. If there is so many, then you can go with the so-and-so entity. It will show the jobs there. It should show, but why it's not showing, I'm not sure, but it should show based upon the entity. But if it's not, then you can check there is only manual option with the all, you can see the information all here. So whatever the system job which is triggered and so on so there. Now let's say that this is when I am importing, it is not importing. It is the failure there. Then what I need to figure out here, let's open this particular record. It will show you some timestamp there. It shows some details here. I mean to say when this happened and all, you created all, completed all details. If there is any error message, it shows the error message here. It shows some error message. This is how you are going to figure out the if there is any issues there. Just give me a second. Someone is knocking my door. Yeah, sorry. So this is about the system jobs and all. These system jobs again, as I said, there will be synchronous jobs and asynchronous jobs as well. If there is any issue, then you can figure out with these particular system jobs as well, with the timestamp and all. So this is about the duplicate detection rule and data imports, how you are going to work with the data imports and exports there. Yeah, please let me know if you have any questions on this duplicate detection rule or data imports. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about the chats and dashboards, and then if time permits, we will start with the business rules there.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, we
Hello. Sir, I have I encountered errors. I'm going to create the new.
Vishal, your voice is breaking, Vishal, sorry.
Hello.
Yes, Vishal.
I had an error, sir, like when I'm going to create the new detection rule.
Duplicate detection rule.
Yeah, duplicate detection rule.
Okay.
I don't know, when I open, when I press the new button to create new one.
New duplicate detection rule you are trying to create. Okay.
Create, yeah.
Okay.
What is the error message?
What is the
error message? Is saying something different, sir. Like it's saying some system problem or something.
So in this account only you are using?
Not this
in
account,
your personal
sir.
Organization or this one, which I am using?
In my personal one, sir.
Okay.
From morning it was giving the same message.
This window it is not populating.
Yeah, this window it is not.
Okay, let me stop recording and you can share the screen.
Okay.